we are HotWax, and we are hanging out with Rob from Front Row Live.
What's up, guys? Rob here, Front Row Live Entertainment. I am hanging out with HotWax here in LA. You guys have been so busy the last couple months. I want to talk a little bit about this tour supporting the band, but also just like being able to experience the States for the very first time.
Yeah, I mean, being in America has just been very mind-blowing for us. As we said on stage last night, it's just so big. We can't believe it. Yeah, no, the views out the window have been crazy.
It's in all types of weather.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, literally every type.
All
Snow.
types of weather, all types of diner breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we went from snow to cactuses within a day.
Hilarious.
It's like, yeah.
That's hilarious. What has it been like supporting Royal Blood during this entire tour, and what have you guys learned from this experience as well? Like, not just from like your stage performances, but just like thinking moving forward for like future tours that you guys will be doing.
Well, a lot of the tour, like we hang out with them after every show, and we speak to them every night, and they've been really, really complimentary about like to us, and spending a lot of time with us, and we get to ask them questions, and their crew are amazing as well, and we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about like touring and working with them. Yeah, it's great.
I love that the stages obviously change, the states change, the fan base kind of changes. How has that kind of impacted your live shows whenever you guys are going into a new stage, a new kind of like experience with an audience?
Well, the stage size.
With like stage sizes or just like the venue itself? Like,
no, sorry. Yeah, it's been different. I mean, it's kind of, you gotta get used to it. I mean, we had the week before this month in the UK to kind of like, we're doing similar, like same size venues to get used to it. But yeah, it's so much louder and so much bigger. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, some days the stage is small.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just seeing so many people that are like maybe like haven't heard of you before as well. So you've got to put on like an extra good show to make a really good first impression in this like massive venue as well. Can be daunting.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like this experience has like impacted you guys moving forward with like new material, like different ways to write or different considerations now that you kind of consider like, oh, this live audience more chants or like more kind of anthemic type of music? Like, has that kind of changed at all during this process?
I think that we're just very like, we love playing live, so it's like the more we play live, the more we're like, we want to record stuff that's like fun to play live.
Yeah,
and is very live. So yeah, I think
we're excited to go back home and focus on writing new songs as well.
Yeah,
it's made us more excited. Yeah.
And aside from the touring, you've been busy with releasing music. You released 2 EPs this year, which is incredible. Talk to me about the most recent EP, Invite Me Kindly, and just take me into that studio process, that creative process. Like, what really kickstarted the idea of this EP? Like, did you go into the studio thinking like, we're gonna write this EP, or was it one of those moments where like you came into a writing session and then it just kind of like evolved?
I mean, we just got told we had to write an EP, and then
Done.
No, yeah, we most of the songs were sort of written at a really similar time.
Yeah.
Which is nice and makes it different to the first EP because it kind of feels like one unit,
one body of work. Yeah.
But yeah, no, and we sort of recorded them on Lola's laptop first as well, which we've never done before.
We don't normally go and record in the studio, write in the studio.
Yeah.
We don't do it. We're always writing all the time. So it's like a collection of, different times. Whether I've written the riff in my bedroom or Slula's like come up with the chords like but on her own or together. It's not normally like we write for that thing. But it's definitely it gets harder with the more we write, because it's like you want it to still be different and interesting. But I think that's exciting, because I feel like if you're not super happy with your EPs, you can release more.
True. That's true, but did you feel that
what
there
the
was
hell I'm
more?
saying.
Did you feel like there was more pressure because you had to come in and write in the studio instead of like on your own time whenever it happened?
I mean, we just wrote it kind of like in Lola's room, but
Yeah, we only had a week to record it, so we there was all the songs were done except for one, which we weren't gonna put it on the EP, and then we did, and we're now like really glad we put it on the EP because it's like a really it's a good one, and it's like people have really liked it. So things just change when you go into the studio as well. You can have a plan, and then it will always change, I think.
yeah.
What about producer wise? Like, how important was this producer to this EP, and what was it about the producer that you felt like you wanted him on this record?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same producer we had for the first EP. So we it's Ben, and he's super nice, and he's from a band called Peachy who are doing really well from Hastings. So yeah, we kind of had him team up with Alan Mulder, who mixed it, who's like a legendary mixer. So it was kind of felt like having someone we're familiar with, who's like got loads of energy and like knows our sound well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then with the mix as well, we had like, I think just having someone you feel comfortable with, and that you can have a lot of say in,
and really be able to get like exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
Talk to me a little bit about the instrumentation. Like, how did you go about as far as recording instruments? Did you try something different this time around in the studio? Like, either playing live together or like playing separately? Like, how different was it on?
Yeah, I think we did more guitar leady stuff. You know, experimented with some synths and things, which we have done before, but it's always nice to like to do that. Yeah, it was a different sound to this EP. It was a lot more, we wanted it to be a lot more dry and live sounding than the first one. So yeah, hopefully we achieve that.
How would you say that impacts the drums?
I'm not sure. It's always like for every song, it's always different. The process of when I come in with it, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Did you find yourself stepping out of your comfort zone to kind of do something different with your drums this time around?
Drum solo.
Yeah. High T's got a bit in it where it's a bit of a drum break.
Yeah.
And normally I'd say most of the time I'm not really doing anything that's like flashy or just like choppy or anything. So yeah, I guess that's kind of out of my comfort zone. Yeah.
What about vocals? How did you guys step out of a comfort zone with vocals? Like, was it something that Ben had you guys do, or was that something that you guys were intending to do with this EP?
Vocals were the last thing we recorded on the EP. So we kind of did it all we recorded it all the instruments in the studio, and then we went to Ben's house and did the vocals.
Very long.
We did like we did like from like 10 until like 1 in the morning or something. Yeah. Doing the vocals and stuff. But yeah, what would you say?
I think like all of the melodies and stuff, like they all came together really quickly, which was nice. And a thing I really like about working with Ben is like he has such a good ear for harmonies. And we did a very long harmony day, which was kind of made us crazy. But yeah, no, I kind of think with like writing the melodies for that EP, I kind of tried not to overthink it too much and sort of just go with the first thing that I heard.
Yeah, and there's a song at the end of the EP that's the whole first verse is just vocals and guitar, which is like a step out of like our comfort zone, I think, as a band. So that was fun to do that.
Was that a scary situation because we get to listen to the vocals more because it's just vocals, guitar?
I think it's kind of scarier like to do live because it's kind of a new thing that we haven't really done much of. But in the studio, it was fun. Yeah. Because obviously, if it sounds awful, then we can just do it again.
It was all one take.
That's crazy. Like I love the energy that we get out of this EP. How was that control, like that vocal control, like when you guys were recording? Because I feel like that's exhausting to go from recording to like also even like playing these live every single night. So did you find a difference once you brought these songs to life? Like, did you find them a little bit harder to perform because there's so much energy going on?
Yeah, drops are hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's always like, I know live is such a different thing, and the record's like one thing, and we can layer vocals and harmonies, and especially because like I mean, there's not loads of us, so we can't really recreate that so much live. But no, I think when it comes to like playing them live, sorry, I said that word so many times. I think that I don't really struggle with the energy of it. I think it's, if anything, it's, I don't know, has more when we play live.
Yeah. Now, talk to me a little bit about like from these songs that are on the EP, like which one do you feel like was the most challenging song to either like create or finalize in the studio?
I think Drop, personally, we did quite a few mixes of it. We did, because it's I don't know, we've had that song for a while, and it's quite heavy, so we didn't want it to feel overproduced.
Yeah.
But then we also didn't want it to feel underwhelming. So I think that one was one that we accidentally recorded it half a step down as well.
Yeah.
Because we left the guitars in, but then I kind of think that added to the heaviness of it. So yeah, I'd probably say that one. I mean, it was all pretty quick, the whole EP. And Phone Machine as well, like, is one that
I think that's my favorite on the EP.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's quite different from what we did before. I mean, I had a really bad demo I did on my laptop, but I kind of wanted it to be like emulate that like electronic, like dry feel as much as possible.
Yeah.
So that was like, had to think about how we could do that and still make it feel live as well.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge, but yeah, it turned out fine.
When you think about this EP as a whole, and even the past EP as a whole, like what is it about it that you felt like all of these songs go hand in hand with one another?
I mean, for this EP, I think just because they were all written like really close together, so they just feel like they do really work together. Probably more than the first EP, because that was like a collection of songs ranging from when we were like 15 to recently. So yeah, I definitely felt like happier with the new one, how it feels a lot more cohesive.
Do you find yourself, as you are writing or creating more music, do you find yourselves changing your sound or the type of songwriting?
I think it just kind of happens naturally, like sorry. Like we'll go through a phase where all the songs have this kind of sound, and then we'll get bored of that and maybe do something else. But yeah, no, I don't think we really overthink it too much. We just kind of play what.
I think it's nice to think of the EPs as like a journey, as not as if ever as a finished product kind of. So maybe it's like we've got so much more music to release, and it's like, I feel like if you are just totally happy with something, then you won't ever have the motivation to write something better.
And also like the songs, like I feel like the EP is a like a showcase of what the songs are like at that time, because they always change a little bit when we're playing them live and like evolve.
One of the cool things that I feel like you will eventually get to experience is the fact that you guys are so young in this industry, and you're basically growing up while we're listening to what you're creating as you grow up. Have you noticed that as you're writing new material? Like, do you notice like how much growth, not just like as an artist, but also like as a human being, like you've had?
Yeah, I mean definitely, but also like sometimes I wish that I was still like 16 and you know, I just feel like you wrote songs just purely from you, and you didn't really have like any, I don't know.
Yeah, as you get older, you get more kind of like
less naive.
You overthink things, and people's, like, you worry more about what people think about things. But I also feel like for the next thing that we write, I really feel like we're writing it for us, and for like, if we have a vision, then I feel like it's really want to make it come true. And the EPs are like, I love them, but it's also that it's time to like be sure of what we want to write. But I think it's exciting that we're not always sure what we're writing. Yeah. Because I feel like if you're sure, then you're probably not very good, because you just think you're good.
Yeah. I feel
we don't think we're good.
I feel like that's also cool, like when you step into a studio, just like you did with this EP, where you came in with nothing and you walked out of it with a whole body of work. So it's kind of cool to like not know what you might be feeling or what you might create at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that you got to, what has it been, like a month or two that you guys have been on the road? Has it been
we've been a month, and then we were another week and a bit in the UK.
Yeah. So the fact that you were able to showcase these songs live, what song do you feel like gravitates most to your new audience right now?
I have to ask them.
Well, do you feel a difference when you guys are performing like certain songs on stage?
Yeah, I think sometimes we'll do a song and I'll be like that one really like connects with people. I think it's kind
Yeah.
of different, especially in America. Like each state is really
It's different,
different as
yeah.
well. So sometimes it's the like slightly slower ones, like 1,000 times, or sometimes it's just like Rip It Out. Rip It Out's always one. I mean that's kind of an older one, but like Rip It Out and High Tea are always
Yeah.
like the heavy ones that always seem to go down well, and
Yeah.
Drop. But yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah. I
During
don't
this
like-
during this process of the EP, what did you guys learn about yourselves as like artists?
I felt I don't need to overthink things as much. I get quite like just like I get too focused on it's not tuned, like my drum's not tuned well, but then like I know I can do it, so I just need to not overthink it.
I mean, as performers, like me and Lulu, I've been like gained definitely more confidence on stage, and like because you've got a big room to fill, so you've got a lot of, you've got to have presence.
Yeah.
So I feel like that just having that experience has just improved our performance a lot.
Yeah. What about for you?
Yeah, no, I'd agree with Lola. Like being able to. Yeah, no, it's still. Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I think like you, just being in front of a new audience and like coming to America, it's kind of like starting a new school, and you can. I've never done that, but that's what I imagine it to be like.
That's what it looks like on TV, at least, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this tour is pretty much wrapped up. You guys are wrapped up here. No,
Yeah.
you're wrapped up in New York, right?
Yeah, wrapping up.
Um,
2 more shows.
Nice. So once you guys are all wrapped up, what are the plans? Like, are you guys going back into the studio? Do you guys want to kind of like take this all in before you guys get back on the road again?
We're gonna keep writing. We're just gonna go home and keep writing and like work on some riffs and we'll be thinking about recording.
Okay. Nice.
Gigging. We've also got gigs still.
Yeah. I feel like 2024 is going to be a busy year for you guys after like this whole tour. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
the time
you
to
so
hang out
much.
with me. You guys be sure to check out HotWax, and thanks for watching here on Front Row Live.